Hafthor Bjornsson might have just had the best night in strongman history, and let's talk about it. And I'm not being facetious, it might be the best night in strongman history. And I was lucky enough to have a front row seat. I would have loved to be going toe-to-toe, but it wasn't in the cards, and I'll talk about that a little bit moving forward. But the night started off with the Mutant Deadlift World Championship, brought to you, of course, by Giants Live, as it always is. And this was a pretty big moment for Giants Live, for the sport in general. With Thor coming back to Giants Live, it is a big plus for everybody. For strongman, for viewership, for all the other athletes, and of course for Giants Live. Now, the deadlifts, it was originally touted as Thor's gonna pull 505, I'm gonna try to pull 505, and we're gonna go toe-to-toe. I had to pull out. Thor pulls 505 in Germany, and honestly, the prospect of the event was kind of looking down. Thor then says he's gonna pull 510 at Giants Live, which is an incredible turnaround in 1 month's time, and admittedly, I was doubtful. I thought 1 month to turn that around, you're probably going to have some level of sympathetic fatigue. Bar's going to move slow. It's going to feel really hard to just get back into prep. His 505 was solid, but not convincing that he had much more in the tank. And here we are in Birmingham, Giants Live. Mutants Deadlift World Championship start. Thor opens at 420 kilos, and it predictably looks very easy. That really didn't mean much to anyone. Everyone knew that that was going to be the case. He jumps to 470, and it looks basically the same as 420. It could not have been more solid. It could not have been better. It could not have been a bigger confidence boost into 510. Now, going into 510, you would assume that someone would want quite a bit of rest time, give themselves a few minutes. There were two lifts at 480 kilos, and Thor's last at 470. So we're talking, might have been 7 or 8 minutes between 470 and 510. And Thor himself said, I'm good. I'm ready to go. Okay. He comes out. He takes a little bit longer in the bottom position than Thor usually does. And I kind of thought that that was a bad sign before he started the lift. I thought maybe he wasn't as comfortable as he normally is. But evidently, he was just kind of gathering his thoughts or building suspense, because once he started the lift, there was absolutely no suspense at all. You would have thought that the plates weren't real. You would have thought that the weight was fake if there weren't tons of guys going before failing, because 510 moved as fast as 470. I think it's totally reasonable to say Thor might have had 520 in him, 530. It's absolutely off the charts. Now, I've said many times I want to chase the deadlift world record, but if Thor pushes to his true maximum, he's going to put it out of reach for a very long time. Now, does that mean that I don't have it in 5 to 10 years' time? Maybe, but if Thor and I were both at maximum and I was on my best day, could I pull 510? Yeah. Could I pull 511? Yeah. Could I pull 520 or 525 or what he is truly capable of? Absolutely not. That's going to take a whole different level of commitment and preparation, which is awesome. I love having things to chase, but I just want to very clearly take my hat off to Thor and say that is just different. It's not the same. I'm not thinking that I'm going to chase that in the next 12 months and move that kind of weight like he just moved it. You'd be hard pressed to find a world record in any sport moving that easily. Now, Thor lifts 510. Of course, you would think that that would take a lot out of someone, but also it was like an 8 out of 10 deadlift. It was not that hard. So yes, he's never done it before. Yes, nobody's ever done it before, but an 8 out of 10 that deadlift is not that hard. And he elected to do the whole show. He continues on to do fairly well in the farmer's walk, to do fairly well in the sandbag steeplechase, to do fairly well in the Viking press, and wins the hammer hold and goes on to come second in the power stairs, winning the event by a margin. So not only did he win $100,000 for breaking the deadlift world record, he wins another $40,000 for winning Giants Live, and walks away with the biggest single day payout in strongman history and the biggest single competition payout in strongman history, and could not be more deserved. That lift is off the charts. His performance after that was solid, and hats off. Now, I was on the mic the whole time. I was lucky enough to be able to commentate and still be a part of Giants, even though I'm in my recovery process at the moment, which is going extremely well. Lots of people asking why I wasn't competing. Lots of people asking when I'll be back. I will be back November 1st and 2nd at the Rogue Invitational. And little tidbit, I was talking to Thor afterwards, and I am the only person that Thor hasn't beat since he's been back. And thinking about Thor's career, he's beat everyone. Before he left to go box Eddie Hall, he's literally beat everyone. I think I am the last one on the list for him to conquer before he has conquered absolutely everybody. And that's one thing that I'm going to hold on to as hard as I possibly can when we go toe-to-toe at Rogue. Now, looking ahead, there's no way that I'm going to catch that deadlift in the amount of time between now and Rogue. And I can't tell you the events for Rogue, but of course there's going to be a deadlift. And of course Thor's going to win it. It doesn't matter if it's 18 inches. It doesn't matter if it's from the floor with an axle, with a deadlift bar, with a Hummer tire. It doesn't matter. He's going to win. And that is just as simple as that. So he's got that one event in the tank. But strongman is about point accumulation. He had a really solid night otherwise, and it's hard to say what someone can do when you're evaluating them after a max deadlift, but he has said he's kind of been half the whole time and he wants to be back to full Thor. Surely this has to be full Thor. This is the strongest deadlift he's ever had. His grip is stronger than it's ever been based on results at the Arnold. His overhead pressing is coming back. He was mid-pack or so on the Viking press. Probably some room to improve, and he's definitely going to be hard on himself and say that he needs to be better at that. But he's going to absolutely rest easy after that performance. I look forward to being back. I look forward to going toe-to-toe. My experience on the mic was great. I enjoyed it. I felt really natural. And for those who know me well, that's a huge personal victory. I struggle to talk in front of crowds, or at least I have in the past. And I felt totally fine doing it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that commentary. And I feel really lucky and really privileged to still be a part of the Giants thing. Of course, there's a physical rehab process going on. There's also a mental rehab process going on. And whilst life has settled down tremendously, and I look forward to giving you guys some more meaningful updates about my life and my family, that's going to take a backseat for right now. But it was a really nice thing as part of my quote-unquote mental recovery to just be out there in the energy and feel the energy and feel positive about the energy, and have tons of people coming up afterwards with lots of care and support and encouragement and desire for me to compete in the future. Of course, there are doubts in my head. Can I get back to my best? I've taken 6 weeks off, and logically I know that that's nonsense, but it's just itching to get back. Did I enjoy being on the mic? Sure. Would I rather be competing and showing everyone what I'm capable of? Yes. And it sort of showed me that maybe strongman is more important to me than I thought it was. Maybe strongman plays a bigger role in my life than I thought it did. And maybe I should be pushing a little bit harder, doubling down a little bit more, and focusing on making this a bit more of a long-term thing, because it was hard. It was hard just sitting in front of everyone, watching and thinking what I might be able to do. Even today, my body feels pretty good. I've been having some pretty big sessions. I'm like, oh, maybe I should just jump in. Maybe I should just do it. And maybe I was thinking that yesterday, but thankfully Coach Laws is here. That's not permitted for right now. And I'm focused on coming back and being an absolute animal at the Rogue Invitational and showing people that I can not only hang at the top, but I can absolutely conquer the top, as I have many, many times before. So I'm not 30 yet, and part of what's so admirable about what Thor's done in many ways. One, he came away from strongman entirely, tore his pec, and now he's back and arguably as good or better than ever. Not only that, but if you look at Thor's old deadlift video, when he deadlifted 300 kilos a decade ago, it was ugly, really ugly. And it might have been longer than 10 years ago, but it's not something that came naturally to him. He was never naturally this incredible at deadlifting. It's inspirational for me. It should be inspirational for all of you that things can change over time. You can improve, and you can really move mountains, quote unquote, no pun intended, to become something you never were before. So it's given me a huge source of inspiration. If he can go away and box for a year and lose 100 pounds and come back better than ever, I can take 6 weeks off or 8 weeks off and come back much better than I have before. I've got my eyes set on winning the Rogue Invitational for the third year in a row. I have my eyes set on winning the Arnold Strongman Classic for the 4th year in a row, and then tackling World's Strongest Man for the 2nd time and taking home that title. And now I am hungrier than ever. So for those who are happy that I'm out for a little bit, as Austin Andrade told me, take a good long rest, and he's enjoying me being away, facetiously and friendly, of course. For those of you who are happy that I'm having a bit of a rest, those days are numbered. And for those who want me back, days are coming when I'll be back to full form. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Massive congrats to Thor. Pop that down in the comments. If you want to make your deadlift as strong as it could possibly be, that link to my deadlift program is down in the comments as well. As per usual, guys, lift heavy, be kind. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel for updates on my training and more things moving forward. And little sneaky preview, I set a bench press PB today with the Gym Reaper, so that's coming soon. But I'm strong. I'm stronger than I thought I was, and I'm ready to smash the Rogue Invitational. I can't wait to show you guys some training footage once those events are released. And you're going to see me at my best. You're going to see me good, and hopefully my best is good enough to come out on top again. But tonight was Thor's night. Hats off to Thor. Thanks, guys, for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.